Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to IHIP News, where Pumps and I share our opinion about the news that is important to us. Pumps has prepared a segment to razzle-dazzle the viewers. Pumps, what news is important to you today?
Well, as the trial of Donald J. Trump has started, I have just been enthralled with all of it.
It's your Super Bowl.
It's my Super Bowl. And so I wanted just so far the highlights. We're still in very early stages, as they say. But to kick it off over the weekend, Stormy Daniels did the funniest thing I've ever seen. Someone said Stormy Daniels is a parasite that would sell anything for $1. And she responds, "Not true. I wouldn't sell Bibles."
Oh my God. I haven't seen that.
How great is that?
Oh my God. That's such a good clapback.
She's really good on social media. Like the shit she says back to the supporters. It's very funny.
Love Stormy.
Love Stormy. Okay. So first day of trial, I want to show you a couple things that I noticed. Okay, I don't know if you can see it very well on the screen. You purport to be a billionaire. Your makeup is atrocious. Look at his fucking roots. I would not start anything with my roots that long.
Let me ask you this. Does he have conjunctivitis here? Is that pink eye?
Something. Isn't it? It's like he pink, brown, orange, gray roots that he didn't bother to have done before this whole thing started.
So he just needed to do a little bit more maintenance for his big day in court.
I mean, I'm not even going to start about the Botox and filler we could use. I'm going to skip over that.
Would you say he's not courtroom ready? He's not camera ready?
He's not camera ready. He is so far from camera ready.
All right.
So as the trial has progressed, we comes to find out he's fucking sleeping through it. Maggie Haberman in the courtroom, he's sleeping in court. He did it in the morning and in the afternoon. And here's the best part. When she told people that, the next day he like eyeballed and glared at her.
Okay, let me ask you this. Am I correct that his big nickname for the current president of the United States, the man that beat him by 8 million votes, he refers to as Sleepy Joe Biden, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
And he's in there with bad roots, falling asleep during his felony court trial.
Right.
Okay.
He's in there falling asleep.
Just wanted to correct establish that on the record.
And here's the thing. I have taken the liberty of scouring the internet.
Of course you have.
For the different nicknames about Sleepy Don.
Okay.
Some of my favorites are as follows. Ebenezer Snooze, Sleepy Don, Don Snorleone, Nappy McCrappy, Dozo the Clown, Snooze Criminal, The Nodfather, and this one I made up myself, and I'm real proud of it. Okay. Sir Snooze a Lot. Going on to day 2, we have reports in the courtroom that he was trying to intimidate jurors. They scoured over social media for a potential juror who's now been seated, and he was gyrating and gesturing and doing all the bad behavior that he does. And so after the juror walked out, the judge said, "I need to make a record." And he says to Donald Trump, "I will not have any jurors intimidated in this court. I want to make that crystal clear."
Okay.
He then told Trump's lawyer to go talk to him. And so basically, I don't think he's fucking around. I think that Don, who is the laziest motherfucker on the planet, having to sit 8 hours a day, 4 days a week.
Without his phone.
Without his phone,
Right.
Without his Diet Coke, without his yes men. It's going to be hard on him. I mean, I'm expecting an implosion to end all implosions. And then we have the sketch. On day 2, they made a sketch of him sleeping because guess what? He Sir Snooze a Lot. I mean, what a fucking asshole. And then he goes out to all the reporters and he admits to the crime. Here we go.
I was paying a lawyer and marked it down as a legal expense. Some accountant, I didn't know, marked it down as a legal expense. That's exactly what it was. And you get indicted over that?
Yes, you do get indicted over that because it was fraudulent business records in an attempt to influence the 2016 election. And here's the thing with Sir Snooze-a-lot. His defense is going to be, well, my lawyers and accountants did it. You have to testify for that to be the defense. And guess what? No way that unhinged motherfucker can get on the stand. They would bury him.
Is he saying that he's going to testify?
Yes, he's saying he's going to testify. Like he's saying he's going to roll out his infrastructure plan.
Right.
I mean, it's just never going to happen. I mean, it would be legal suicide because he has no impulse control, no ability for self-restraint.
Right.
And he's not very smart.
Yeah.
So those are just some of the highlights from so far. Not a lot's kind of gotten done, but more importantly, he's making the biggest ass of himself. And I just want to say it here. I'm manifesting something. We've got a man that's 77 years old.
Okay.
He's fallen asleep twice in a criminal trial.
Okay.
He's going to fart. It's going to sneak out in these next 7 to 8 weeks. It's going to sneak out while he's sleeping. He's going to fart. And I am manifesting that because I'm here for it.
So, but there's no cameras in the courtroom.
No, there's no cameras in the courtroom, but there's an overflow room for the reporter pool that they can see what's going on in the courtroom, see and hear. So it's videoed and streamed into an overflow room in the courthouse. The jurors are not allowed to be on camera because it's an anonymous jury, but the reporters in the pool will be able to see it.
Okay. Let me ask you so the viewer knows, what is your favorite college football team on the planet?
Oklahoma Sooners.
You eat, sleep, and breathe Oklahoma Sooners football, correct?
Correct.
Let me ask you this. Would you rather go to a national championship game of the Oklahoma Sooners versus, like, let's say Alabama or some big, other powerhouse?
Okay.
You get to be on the sidelines. You get to high five the players. You're like the ball girl,
right?
Everybody knows you. You are, the sideline mom. Or you could sit in this courtroom every single day with your eyesight on Donald Trump, where you could see every reaction, every move he makes. What do you pick?
Does OU win?
They win. They win the national championship.
I'm on the sideline.
And in this case, he gets convicted on it's a unanimous. What do you pick?
I'm going trial. Just because I think that this meltdown we're getting ready to see is so spectacular. Because you have to remember, he doesn't have control over his time. He doesn't have control over when he has to arrive and when he gets to leave. He doesn't have control over when he eats. He has no access to his phone. He has no yes men telling him how great he is all day, every day. That's never happened to him before. So the implosion we're getting ready to see is just going to be, theater on steroids, I think.
Yeah. I just think the viewer, you have to know, I've known this woman for over 20 years, and her life in the fall revolves around this football team, and her moods revolve around this football team. And it is an obsession like you cannot believe. It controls her entire months from the end of August through whenever they are eliminated from the process. And it's annoying because I can't talk to her. She's in a bad mood if they lose. It's like a lot of people are about sports teams. So that's what's so interesting about this, because I haven't seen anything hold your attention since OU football.
And then just on his off days, because the court's dark on Wednesday, this is the stupid kind of shit that he's posting on Truth Social. Just 4 years ago, I was a very popular and successful president of the United States, getting more votes than any sitting president in history. Point of order. You got 8 million votes less than the other guy.
Well, and he got 3 or 4 million less than Hillary Clinton.
Right.
He's never won the popular vote. He's a loser in the popular vote twice over.
Absolutely. Then he says, tomorrow morning, I'll be in criminal court before a totally conflicted judge, a corrupt prosecutor, a legal system in chaos, a state being overrun by violent crime and corruption, the crooked Joe Biden's henchmen rigging the system against his political opponent. Me! First of all, it's not Joe Biden. It's the electorate of Manhattan County District Attorney.
But
nothing
which
to do
is
with
it?
Joe Biden.
Which is it? Is Joe Biden an incompetent, dementia-ridden, sleepy person, or is he the mastermind in taking down this megawatt star that everybody loves, that wins all these votes? Or is he the mastermind in all of this? Collusion to bring down the innocent, the man of integrity, Donald Trump.
I think that's a nuance that his followers just do not see, because you can't have it both ways. You can't be sleepy and incompetent and yet running the biggest conspiracy in the history of the world. I will be fighting for myself, but much more importantly, I will be fighting for our country. Election interference like this has never happened in the U.S. before and hopefully never will again. Actually, he is the walking embodiment of election interference. We are now a nation in serious decline, a failing nation, but we will soon be a great nation again. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of the United States. MAGA 2024. See you tomorrow. See, he puts this out and then he's not camera ready. His roots are bad. His face is bad. He can't stay awake. I mean, the guy is a fucking train wreck. But here's my favorite. Who will explain to my wonderful son, Barron, who is a great student at a fantastic school, that his dad will not likely be allowed to attend his graduation ceremony? First of all, the judge didn't say that. They asked to mark the calendar of the docket off that day, and he said, we'll see. We'll see where we are in terms of time. He didn't say no. He didn't say yes. And point of order, he never has been to his kid's graduation. My guess is he had no intention of going, period.
I just want to jump in. The person that needs to tell Barron that his dad can't make it to his graduation could either be two people, his dad or Stormy Daniels.
Either one.
Right. That your daddy can't come to your graduation because when you were 3 months old, he was fucking Stormy Daniels. Then he paid her $130,000 to keep her mouth shut. And it all backfired because the cover up is always just as bad, if not worse, than the crime.
Or I've got another option. Karen McDougal, the Playboy bunny he was banging while Melania was pregnant. Maybe she could tell him. So anyway, then we just have the more ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. We will make America great again. Unjust scams. Crooked Joe Biden.
I just want to, something that really bothers me, and this is petty, but we're really petty people.
Absolutely.
He claims that he's so smart and he's so well educated and he's, one of the smartest, one of the brightest, top of his class. All this bullshit we all know is lies. Anyway, he doesn't know what the difference between a noun and a proper noun is.
Correct.
He capitalizes everything that shouldn't be capitalizes. And he's like making things proper nouns that are not proper nouns. It's such a bad example for the kids.
It is.
It's just a really bad example for the kids that might follow him on True Social to see this just horrible misuse of capitalization. Barron sees it, I'm sure. What kind of example is he setting for him?
Right. Or the misspellings, the lies. Here's the deal. He's such a bad English and typer example to our kids. It's really his mouth, his behavior. Everything he says is mean-spirited. It marginalizes people. He's a fucking liar. So, anybody who wanted him to be a role model for the kids over in the evangelical community, when he was banging a Playboy bunny, screwing porn stars, they've skipped that part. But yeah, he's not a great role model.
I think deep down, all of those people, if hooked up to True Serum and a polygraph, would be mortified if their children behaved like this man.
Of course they would.
And the whole situation, and I've said it once and I'll say it again, We've seen grifters and con artists multiple times throughout our whole life. There's been multiple trials similar to this of somebody who's well known, who is a total grifter, a con artist, a scammer. You know, they did that whole Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Catch Me If You Can.
Right.
Remember? And that was based on a true story. And you could go on and on. Donald Trump being a nut and being a grifter is a story as old as time.
Right.
My problem is the millions of people that are so intellectually defunct that they follow this guy.
Right.
And the mental and moral gymnastics in which they have to travel to get their vote there. Or just the, you know, I'm not going to research this, but I'm a Republican, so that's just the way I'm voting. It's like, grow up, get some intellectual curiosity, and read a few news articles from the Associated Press, maybe. You know, just something that is a news organization, but they can't and they won't. And it's a huge problem. And the problem now is Trump has emboldened a whole new generation of these people. And now you have the Marjorie Taylor Greens, Josh Hawley, Kitten Hills in Florida, Governor Kitten Hills. They're younger and they are just as bad. And honestly, they might be a bit more dangerous because they're more organized.
Right.
He's so disorganized mentally. Everything he does is a reaction.
Right.
Those people will play offense. He's always playing defense. So it's really scary. And the trial, hopefully he gets thrown in jail because that's where he needs to go.
Absolutely.
And I would just say, I think if he were a black man, he'd already be in jail.
There is no question in my mind that if he wasn't the former president of the United States, he would already be in jail. Sam Bankman-Fried got pulled, his bail got pulled because he made some comments to witnesses. This guy is just a walking crime spree, walking fountain of hate. Absolutely, he would be in jail, particularly if he was black or didn't have money.
I agree.
So, Jenny, I'll keep you posted. That's where my fun energy goes to these days.
All right. Stick with us for more hot takes.
We will see you when we feel like it.